everyone, it's Jen here. Today I want to show you how to take an image from Google and just simply save it into your design space, and you can use your HTV or your 651, whatever kind of vinyl you want to use. Today I'm going to use HTV and put this really cute panda that someone had shared on one of my Facebook groups and try to put it on a t-shirt. So the first thing I'm going to do is find my image and use a converter. So let me find. I like to search in Chrome but do design space in Firefox. So what I'm going to do is just Google, right now the file's a JPEG, so JPEG to SVG. That brings up a couple different sites. I've used a couple of these first ones here, so we'll just try one. And you're gonna go down here to choose file. I know with all the advertising, it's kind of hard to tell, but go to choose file. That's gonna bring up your documents, and I saved my panda as panda JPEG. And we're gonna open that up. And you'll see right here, it has the file name, panda JPEG. So then I'm just going to go down here to convert file. I don't really mess with any of these settings just because I didn't really think that they've changed much of anything when I was putting my JPEG to SVG. Maybe if you were doing something like going to a JPEG, maybe from a PDF, that might something you might want to work with, but we're going to SVG, so I didn't really think, and plus it's a black and white image, so it's really not gonna do much. So okay, let's convert the file. It doesn't take long. When it's done, the file for me goes right down here in the corner. It just pops up down here. So there is my panda image. It looks kind of wonky, but when I was doing this earlier, it turns out to be fine in design space. So just depending on your file, you may want to just kind of play with it and see. I've had other times where what you look at's what you get. So looks like right now it's missing the eyeballs, so we'll see if those pop in when we save it. Okay, so you're gonna right click, save as, and we'll save it as an SVG. Even though it says SVG down here, I'm gonna go ahead and put it there so I know what it looks like. Okay, and I have a couple different panda bears saved, so we'll check that out. Okay, so now it's saved, and so I'm gonna close out my Chrome and get to my design space. So, okay, so the first thing I'm gonna do is go to a new project. And like I said, I like to use Firefox for my design space just because I feel like it works better. A while ago I was doing some print to cuts and in Chrome, and just all of a sudden the print wouldn't work, like the screen would just go white. So I called customer service, and actually didn't call, I did the little like type chat thing, and they were really helpful, and she had mentioned that I should try Firefox, and that worked perfectly. So I went into Firefox and updated all my Adobe and Flash Player and Shockwave and all that jazz, because I just really don't use Firefox. And so once I got all that updated, everything was great and perfect. So if you're having any kind of issues with Chrome, try Firefox. And okay, so go to your upload image. We're gonna browse, and it happened to take me right to my Cricut folder because it knows that's what I am doing. And we're gonna do my panda. And there it is with eyeballs. Okay, so let's put in panda so that if I ever have to search for this again, I'll know where it is. Okay, so panda's there. Let's save it. Okay, so now I want to put this into design space. So I click on it, it gives me a little check mark, and then I insert my image. I could also insert multiple images if I wanted to. You don't have to insert them one at a time. For instance, when I was doing my Doctor Who images over here, I just clicked on a bunch of them at one time and then put them all in. Okay. So I'll put the panda bear in, insert my image. Tells me it might take a minute because it's a large file. And there she is. Okay, so I'm going to be putting this on a t-shirt. So I'm going to add a canvas. So set canvas. A bunch of them pop up, and I just want, do they have a V-neck on here? I'm not sure, because I'm going to put it on a V-neck t-shirt. I don't see one. Okay, well, we'll just do the regular old classic t-shirt. And you can see it kind of pops up behind. That does a front and a back if you want to do front and back. Now, what I like to do is over here in the corner, you can click on canvas, and then it gives you the type of canvas. So right now it's set for baby and 0 to 3 months. Well, that's not what I want. So I would like, I'm going to do a men's shirt, even though it's going to be for me. The t-shirt is just a regular t-shirt. So I'm going to put a men's t-shirt, and it's a 2X. So that's going to set my canvas and kind of give me a template for what I want to do with my image. So now I'm just going to kind of move it. Let's make this a little smaller. So now you can kind of see, and we know that for Cricut, the mat is a 12 by 12 or a 12 by 24. So I'm going to edit this. I know my width can't be any more than 12. So I go over to my edit box thing, I hit edit. I'm going to highlight this 9" and just make it a 12. Actually, I'm going to make it 11.8 just to give me a little breathing room. All right, so this is as big as I can make it. It did take the height to 13.24, so I'm going to have to use my bigger Cricut mat, which is fine, no big deal. All right, so that's kind of what this is going to look like, which is kind of groovy. So I'm digging it, and I don't think I want it to say anything. I think I just want the panda. And I happen to have a green shirt we're going to put this on. I don't like to wear white because I have a 2-year-old and white tends to get dirty around him. So my panda will be green, which I think will still look cool. All right, so we're going to hit go. Oh, it says it's too large. All right, so why is it too large? Now let's try reducing the size a little bit. So let's try 11.5 and see if it'll go now. Yeah, okay, so it tells me it's too large for a 12 by 12 mat, and so they've updated your mat to 12 by 24, which is good. So we'll hit continue. Continue. Okay, there it goes. All right, so now you can see it is going to go edge to edge on my mat. Now, the one thing you want to do for HTV is go over here to this little box over here, and you can hit mirror image. The other way to do this is back in design space. Over here on the side, there's a mirror image, and you could put that there as well. Maybe. Okay, am I frozen? I think I'm frozen. Okay, let's try it. I don't know what's going on. Let's try it here, see if it'll work here. Okay, well it worked there. I'm not sure why it didn't work before. I've used that before. Okay, so now that it is mirror imaged, you just hit go. And it's going to tell you, it's going to find your position. Right now mine's set on Post-it notes, so I'm going to set my Cricut. So let's go set the Cricut. Okay, I'm over here at my Cricut. I'm going to turn my dial so that it's on vinyl. Okay, so while it's on vinyl, it's telling me it's ready to go. So we're going to get the mat ready. Okay, so I have my 12 by 24 mat and I have my piece of black vinyl. Now when you're doing HTV, you want to use, there's this real shiny side. There's a real shiny side to the vinyl, and then there's this dull side. You want to put the shiny side down, and that's why we mirror image it. So I'm going to just line up my vinyl. This mat is relatively new, so I hope that doesn't cause an issue with my print or my cuts. So I line up the edges, and for this image, you're going to want to make sure that you get it pretty much in the square because it's going to print all the way to the edge because it's such a big image. So this can take a second to make sure that it's good. Okay, I think that'll work. Alright, now I'm going to use my little spatula thingy, this little Cricut thing, and I'm going to spread this out. Because this is a pretty intricate cut, we don't want any air bubbles because the air bubbles are going to cause it not to cut in that area. Okay, it looks pretty good. There's a few little bitty bubbles, but I think those will be okay. The big thing is to make sure the edges are down too. Alright, so that's down. So next what we're going to do is we're going to load this into the Cricut. Alright, so I've got my Cricut going, it's flashing. I'm going to put my mat in and push the button. Oh, it kind of loaded Cricut. So I'm going to unload it by just pushing that button again. And we'll try it again here. There it goes. Okay, so the load's good. Now my little C in my Cricut is flashing, so I'm going to hit that. And away she goes. So we'll let this cut for a few minutes and then we'll weed it, and I will show you how to press it with your iron, and hopefully we'll have a cute panda shirt when we're all done. While this is cutting, I thought some of you might be interested to find out where I got my vinyl. This is the Easy Scissor Weed vinyl. I think that's what it's called. Anyway, I order from craftvinyl.com. I know a lot of people have had some customer service issues with them. I personally have had none. It's pretty straightforward and simple. For instance, on Saturday and Sunday, the Easy Scissor Weed vinyl is on sale, and that's what HTV is. And it's on sale, so you can go in there and order 10 pieces per order to get those on sale, plus shipping and handling. I think it comes out to like $17 and some change. He has sales on different types of vinyl pretty much every day. You just need to make sure that you read the rules, I guess they are. Basically it boils down to you can only have 10 pieces per order. So if you wanted to order 13 pieces, you would have to order 10 pieces on sale, 3 pieces at regular price, and in 2 different orders with 2 sets of shipping. So what I typically do is I'll place 2 or 3 orders of 10 pieces a piece and pay the shipping 3 times. It does take a little bit to get to me, but it is the best prices I've found. If you have a better place you're picking up your vinyl for HTV, please comment below and let me know. He also has glitter HTV. However, it's it's a 9 by 12 sheet instead of the 12 by like 15 sheet, I think it is. But I have had no problems with his vinyl, and it all seems to adhere well, and I haven't had any cases where I've gotten some really old vinyl and it doesn't want to work. So if you're new to Cricut and new to vinyl like I was, give them a try. Make one order. Like I said, it usually takes about 3 weeks total once you place your order. He usually ships, I think it's within 10 business days of your order, and then it just takes a couple days to get to you. So if you're looking for vinyl right away, that's not a place you want to order from. I have used the Cricut Glitter HTV that I picked up at Joann's, and I had no problems with that either. I know some folks don't like their vinyl, the Cricut vinyl, but I thought it worked fine. Excuse me. I have a couple shirts that I've used the vinyl in, and it's worked, you know, just fine. It's been through the washing machine and the dryer. It's been fine. I used an iron, not a heat press, so I think you just really have to heat that iron up hot and push down really hard. I did have a couple pieces when I was doing my excuse me, some lettering, and just the corners peeled up. So on those corners, instead of getting out my whole iron again, I just got out my hair straightener, my flat iron, and just pressed it really good, and that worked great, especially just for a little corner. So keep that in mind too, ladies. Okay, we're going to let this continue cutting, and then we're going to do some weeding. Alright, so it is finally done cutting. It did take about 15 minutes. So I'm going to unload this by simply pushing the arrow that is flashing. And now we're going to, looks like it would be horrible, but because all of these pandas are, the white spaces are connected, it really just peeled off very easily. The only part that was just a little bit difficult where I had to use my weeding tool were these little mouths that were open, and even then it was just a real quick bloop and it was out. This took maybe 3 minutes to weed. So I'm going to peel out my transfer tape, and so you'll see that this is not like your other types of vinyl. This is sticky, whereas the vinyl itself is not sticky. So here are some pieces of vinyl that I peeled out, and it's not sticky at all. The one thing you want to make sure when you're weeding is that you don't leave any little pieces on here, because when you iron that, that will stick to your shirt. So let's go over to the iron. Alright, this is my green shirt, and we're going to iron it. I have this heavy duty old school iron that I picked up at Walmart for about $20, and we're just going to take all the moisture out of this shirt by simply ironing it, and this kind of helps everything to stick better too. And it is on the hottest setting, which is set for linen. Cotton, I believe, would work too. It is set on steam, but I have it locked where there's no steam and there's no water in here. So we're just going to heat this up and green for go. Try to get all the little crinkles out, one I just made. And now we're going to figure out where we want our panda. And I think that would look okay. This is really big. That's okay. I like it. So it looks good. It's centered. And now what we're going to do is use our iron, and we're going to really push hard down. You want to push hard because you are a press. So we don't have a press, so you're going to be the press. So push hard down, and especially on those little pieces, you want to really get in there. Okay, I think we've initially got it down, so now we can really start pressing it in there. I find that the black vinyl, I feel like, works the best and stays on the best through the washer and dryer. Some of the colored vinyls, I feel like do an okay job, but if you are someone who is selling these, which I don't sell, I am strictly for personal use, and that's it for basically my son and I. And so if you were selling, it would be hard to say, hey, I need you to make sure that you don't put it through the dryer, or get out your hair straightener so that you can straighten it, or so you can press it if it peels up. That's just not good business practices, I think. So if I were to sell, I would probably invest in a heat press, but I think this does okay. So just really pressing it down here. And I'm going to go over some of these small pieces and really give it some individual attention. And you'll see I don't have this part of the iron on as I'm going around. It's tilted up, so it's still getting heat, but I'm not going to burn my vinyl that way. And sometimes when you start to peel it up, you'll notice that the vinyl's coming with it. Just put the transfer tape back on there and give it a little more love. Just some bigger pieces here, so I'm going to really press those in there. I think this turned out really cute. Alright, and I'm going to try and peel it up here. And we'll just go slow, and if we have to put it back down, the tape back down, we will. See, already a little piece there is starting to peel up. So we'll just put that back down there. I do see that the vinyl, the black vinyl, I feel like I've had to do this more than with the colored vinyl. But I think overall it's worth it because it sticks down in the long run better. Let's go over the whole thing again here. I like this iron. I had a regular old lightweight iron and it did okay too, but this iron I feel like has got some more weight to it, so I don't have to push quite as hard because your arms do get tired after a while, so especially if you're doing quite a few shirts. I did some shirts for my classroom and just put our school name on them, and there were almost 30 shirts. There was 27 shirts. And oh my gosh, one, it took forever, and I was so tired afterward just from pressing down so hard. This is really not going to stick very well. Alright, so here ends up being the finished product. It did take a minute to get all those little pieces to stick, but I think it turned out pretty cute. So I'm going to put a little decal on the back to show that it's something that I made, which is kind of my little signature thing, and that's it. So if you have any questions, let me know, and happy cricketing. Alright, So I mentioned that I like to put on my little signature clip art. This is not something I created. Like I said, I don't sell any of my products, so it's just for personal use. There's no copyright issues. So I just like to put it right where the tag would be, and you can see that there's a little Walmart tag in there. So I just picked this little clip art, love and peace, with the heart as a peace sign. So we're gonna warm up, turn my iron on again, warm up that area like we did before. And then just put it where you want it. Like I said, I just do this because I think it's fun to put on the back of those shirts that I make for me. I don't do this for my son's shirts. I just do it for the ones that I make. Oh no. Oh, that's fine. Okay. Alright, and that's it. We're done.